They say Dubai is a dream, gold in the malls, islands shaped like palms at seven-star hotels, supercars parked outside McDonald's. But look closer, and you'll see a different story. Point one, built not just on ambition, but on silence. Welcome to Dubai's untold truth. Welcome to the side they don't show in travel ads. To tourists, Dubai looks perfect, clean, rich, modern, at a place where crime doesn't exist, and everything runs like a dream. But every perfect illusion is carefully managed. The streets are clean, but only because someone's paid to sweep them at midnight. The buildings are spotless, but built by men who live in silence. The smiles? They're rehearsed. Behind that perfection is control. Behind the luxury is labor. Behind the experience is censorship. Even the desert is landscaped. Every skyscraper, mall, and hotel was built by migrant laborers. Men from India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, and Nepal. They come chasing opportunity, but many find something very different. Contracts that change after arrival. Passports taken for safekeeping. They work 12 to 14-hour shifts in 45 degrees Celsius heat. Some faint. Some collapse. Some never go home. Their camps? Overcrowded, filthy, and far from the city lights. They're the unseen backbone of Dubai, and they are breaking. Their stories often go untold. No reporters, no coverage, just silence. And yet, without them, Dubai would not exist. Say the wrong thing in Dubai, even in a private message, and you could be jailed. There is no true freedom of speech, not for locals, not for tourists, not for expats. Complaining about your boss? Jail. Posting a bad review online? Jail. Even whispering about the royal family can lead to deportation or worse. Dubai controls its image at all costs, and those who threaten it are quietly removed. Dubai appears progressive, but beneath the image, women face quiet battles. Local women can be punished for leaving home without permission. Foreign women risk arrest for reporting sexual assault. Pregnancy outside marriage is a crime. Even a private kiss can result in jail time. Migrant domestic workers often live in their employers' homes, unpaid, abused, invisible. Behind the malls and makeovers, many women are still fighting just to be heard, and many others suffer in silence, trapped in golden cages. Tourism is Dubai's crown jewel. But who's polishing it? Behind every luxury meal is a chef on 16-hour shifts. Behind every pristine bathroom is a cleaner without days off. Many workers are brought in on tourist visas, promised jobs, then trapped, and no exit, no rights, no voice. Luxury isn't cheap, but someone else is paying the price. And tourists? Most never notice, or they look the other way. Some people disappear in Dubai, not physically, but legally. A maid runs from abuse and is never seen again. A gay man is beaten and deported, his story deleted. A whistleblower is silenced with a non-disclosure agreement and threats. Dubai is not just a city of gold. It's a city of ghosts, and some stories are buried too deep to recover. The system ensures that what happens in the shadows stays there. In Dubai, smiles are currency. Hospitality workers are expected to be perfect, always happy, always available. But behind the smiles, exhaustion, burnout, fear, because one wrong move, one complaint, and their job, visa, and freedom vanish. Smiling is not always a sign of happiness. Sometimes it's a mask. In Dubai, the law is not blind. It sees color. It sees wealth. It sees power. Foreigners are arrested for swearing or dancing. Yet locals and elites operate above the rules. Justice here, it depends on your passport and your privilege, and your silence. Dubai didn't become a global metropolis overnight. It was built on the backs of millions of migrant workers, many coming from South Asia, Southeast Asia, and Africa. They arrive with dreams of better lives for their families back home, only to find themselves trapped in a cycle of debt and abuse. Many pay thousands of dollars just to get a job in Dubai. Recruitment agencies charge them high fees, promising good wages and safe working conditions. But once they arrive, the reality hits hard. Workers often live in labor camps far away from the city center. These are overcrowded dormitory-style buildings where dozens of men share a single room with bunk beds and minimal facilities. Sometimes there isn't even enough clean water or proper food. Working hours can stretch up to 14 hours a day under the scorching desert sun, with little rest and limited access to medical care. Injuries are common and compensation is rare. And until recently, the Kafala system made it nearly impossible for workers to leave their jobs or even return home without their employer's permission. This meant that if a worker faced abuse or wasn't being paid, there was almost nothing they could do about it. In recent years, some reforms have been introduced allowing workers to change jobs without needing permission and setting a minimum wage, but many argue these changes are too little too late and enforcement remains weak. Women who come as domestic workers face an even harsher reality. They work long hours inside private homes, isolated from the outside world, often without days off, and vulnerable to physical and sexual abuse. Many have no contract, no legal protection, and no way to escape. There have been countless reports over the years of women fleeing their employers only to end up in jail for running away because of laws that criminalize breaking a contract. Now let's talk about life for regular tourists in Dubai. While the average traveler might not see the darker side of the city, they're not completely free from the strict rules either. Dubai may look westernized, but it's still governed by conservative Islamic law. Public displays of affection, even holding hands, can result in fines or arrests. Posting a photo of someone without consent can be considered a crime. Kissing in your hotel room has led to deportations. Alcohol consumption is allowed, but only in licensed venues, and you need a permit to drink at home. Getting drunk in public is a jailable offense, and criticizing the government online can get you arrested. Even relationships outside of marriage are technically illegal, and while enforcement varies, depending on how much attention you draw to yourself, the risk is always there. Then there's the issue of surveillance and control. The UAE ranks among the top countries in the world when it comes to digital surveillance. Facial recognition cameras cover the city, and internet censorship is widespread. Using a VPN to protect your privacy can land you in trouble. And while the government promotes cultural events like Expo 2020 and the upcoming COP18 climate summit, critics argue that these are attempts to whitewash the country's human rights record. Dubai wants to be known as a global hub for innovation, tourism, and business, but at the same time it silences journalists, activists, and dissidents. Foreign companies and influencers who speak out often find themselves banned or blacklisted. The message is clear: play by our rules or leave. And then there's the environmental cost of all this growth. Building cities in the desert doesn't come cheap. Ecologically speaking, massive air conditioning systems run nonstop. Water usage is among the highest in the world, and desalination plants damage marine ecosystems. Projects like the Palm Islands and Burj Khalifa are engineering marvels, but they've also contributed to rising sea levels, coastal erosion, and irreversible damage to local wildlife. So should you visit Dubai? That's a personal choice, but it's important to understand the full picture before spending your money in a place where wealth and poverty exist side by side. If you do decide to go, be respectful of local laws and culture, but also stay informed and aware of the realities facing the people who live and work there every day. Travel is about learning and growing, and sometimes that means looking beyond the postcard image. Thanks for watching this episode of Truth in Travel. If you found it helpful, hit the like button and subscribe for more honest and eye-opening travel content next week. We're heading to Thailand to uncover the hidden truths behind the land of smiles. Until then, keep exploring, but always stay curious.